Hi, this is Chaz. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Chaz. This is Erin from Cleveland.
Hi, Erin from Cleveland. This is so
I was
fun. I'm so
calling.
excited that you called.
Well, thank you. I was excited to call. This is kind of connecting with the gynecology and the hysterectomy question. I wondered if you personally or the person that you are having surgery with has discussed and gone down the road of any hormone replacement therapy, specifically testosterone pellets, estrogen, testosterone pellet insertion, all the symptoms we have.
We did briefly cover that in the podcast. Did you watch the one last week we dropped with him?
I watched the first one, not this last one.
Okay. So we did briefly talk about that. In my situation, because I'm keeping my ovaries, there's no need for the hormone replacement right now, but he is coming back for part 2. And we're going to talk about, we did briefly touch on that podcast. Is there a need for supplementing hormones with pellets or, some of the hormone replacement therapies? And he said there wasn't in my situation, in my case at this point, but we're going to do a part 2 about my recovery. And I think we're going to dive into that more because that was often asked. It was about the hormones.
Okay, because I know there's a lot of information about estrogen specifically being cardioprotective, breast protective, and helps with all the symptoms. And I know it's not FDA approved, the pellets, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just that they're not approved. So that would be great to get more information on that.
Yes, I'd love to get more information. I'm learning so much through this process. So even if, we were definitely going to have him back, but I'm also considering having someone that just specializes in hormones and just kind of talking about everything, because it's been a question at the top of the list for basically our entire audience. They're all women like us, and we're all reaching that age where we have to consider all of our options. And I've heard a lot of the community talking about the pellets. I had never even heard of it. So I feel like there just needs to be more information, and we would love to dive into that.
Great. I look forward to that.
Yes. Well, stay tuned. There's so much good stuff coming with women's health. I just feel like there's not enough conversation about it. So I'm ready to have those conversations. So stay tuned for future podcasts because there's a lot to come.
Okay, for sure. Thanks for the information. Good talking to you.
Thanks for calling, Erin. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Well, this is fun. So I've never done this before. We just jumped in because the phone rang a few times as we were kind of diving into starting this. So we didn't really do an intro. So let me do our intro. Hi, welcome back to Chatting with Chaz. So what we decided to do today was take your calls. There's a lot of questions in the DMs. There's a lot of questions regarding past podcasts, future podcasts, who we might have as guests, and the latest podcast on my journey of a hysterectomy. So we decided let's just open it up and invite people to call in, ask anything. It could be topics about parenting. It could be topics about marriage, divorce, financial planning. How'd you start a business? How did you develop a brand? You name it. So we're here to take your calls, and I'm going to look. Do we have any texts coming in or any messages? Here's a text. Okay. I love this. Where is D-Fresh's bird feeder house from? I need a link, Pretty P, please. He just went upstairs. So everyone has asked about that little birdhouse. We were out one Saturday and we found this little bird store. He knew about it. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's in Roswell. And if you just kind of Google bird store, he might have it when he comes down. Do you know the name of that bird's, where we got the birdhouse in Roswell?
Birds Unlimited.
What?
Birds Unlimited.
Birds.
Mansell Road.
Birds Unlimited off of Mansell Road. So reach out to Birds Unlimited on Mansell Road. We wanted a large one because his previous backyard, we had a ton of birds, and we had it positioned right off of our little cozy cuddler room. And we would just sit there for hours and watch the birds. I mean, it was so fun and it was worth the investment. They're really not that expensive. I will tell you, our birds went through, I'm not kidding, like a 10-pound bag of birdseed like a day. It was wild. It was like Animal Kingdom back there. So we definitely enjoyed that. We actually brought it to the new house. We just haven't put it up yet. So we need to find the perfect spot. If you build it and you feed them, they will come. So yes, that's a question. We have some more questions. How is your dad? Promo Pops has had a time. Let me just tell you, he has been on a health journey. And a lot of you know he was not able to make it to our wedding because he couldn't even walk. He developed some nerve damage in his legs, but then that led to possible hip replacement. And then he has a lot of cardiac issues that he's dealing with. He has a number of health issues right now. And I think what happened, and if this is my word to you, I think what happened is he was the primary caregiver when my mom was diagnosed with dementia, and he was taking care of her. He was feeding her. He was clothing her. He was making sure that every little thing was handled. He was getting her to appointments. He was handling literally everything. My sister's in North Carolina. I'm here in Georgia. My brother, he has a busy family and business life. So my dad was kind of on his own taking care of my mom. And I think what happened is he put off his doctor's appointments. He put off his treatment. He just put himself off. And if you've heard me say anything, it's always put yourself on the list, and he didn't do that, and he's kind of paying for it now. So we're trying to get him to either move to Atlanta, to Charlotte, where we could help and take care of him. But all of his doctors are down south. My brother is there, and he's super helpful. So he just wants to stay put and kind of get ahead of all these appointments. And I think he's making a little progress. I wish it was quicker, but he's making progress. So thank you for checking. You ask me all the time. I'm careful not to put too much of his health journey out here because it's his journey. I'll tell you everything about mine. I mean, basically I've told you everything, but I'm careful about sharing his. So that's kind of the broad brush. Did you change your decor? Do you change your decor when seasons change? Absolutely. I mean, doesn't everybody? Absolutely. I love seasonal decorating. I love a season. I love fall. I love winter. For me, fall is, cozy and warm, inviting. It's scents and smells and layers and blankets and velvet and texture. And then winter is just more cozy, more layers, greenery to freshen up your home as it's just cold and dreary, lighting the fire, styling the mantle, kind of refreshing after Christmas. We are huge at Linen and Flax with our Christmas holiday decor. Every year, it's our top selling season. And we go big and we go deep, and you love it and I love it. And so that's part of our fall winter collection is our Christmas decor. And I will tell you, I'm very proud of it. And this year we've already shopped for it. We're ready for it. It's going to be next level. So get ready for that. And then we go into spring, and it's like we want to refresh and we want to lighten things up and we want to organize and we want to purge and we want to kind of jump into the spring mood. And then summer is just easy. It's relaxed living outside. It's dining outside. So I'm a big seasonal decorator. It's what you do on your front porch with pillows. It's putting the American flag up on your porch. It's lanterns. I love a season and I love a moment and I love to decorate. So follow us at Linen and Flax if you're not, and see, because I take you along as I decorate my house, our stores, everything. Okay, the questions are coming in hot. Which room in a home is your favorite to design and style? That's it. Thank you. You don't even know what's happening over here. It's awesome. I'm going to have to take a selfie. Or not a selfie. I'm going to have to take a picture of what's happening to my left. This is good stuff. First timer over here. So my favorite room, that's a great question. My favorite room to decorate. Here's the thing. I love a kitchen. If we're talking design conceptually, I love to design a kitchen. If we're talking just decorate, let's go back to that. Like, why do I love to decorate a kitchen? it is the heart of the home. It's where people gather. It's where you live every day. That's the first place you go in the morning for your coffee. It's the last place you turn the lights off at night. It's just the heart of the home. It's where you pack your kids' lunches. It's where you throw Susie a bridal shower. It's where you make that amazing dinner that your kids will never forget. It's where your kids come home from sports and you're talking and someone's sitting on top of the island and you're just having a late night chat. I love the kitchen. So as an interior design, give me. I love the kitchen for form and function because I love the functionality of the kitchen. I love to create spaces that work functionally and make everyone's life better, not just prettier. Better, easier, functional. So I love to design kitchen. Favorite room to decorate? It's probably the family room for kind of the same reasons. It's where we all gather as a family. It's where we all end our day. It's where we get comfortable and cozy and we watch a movie and we snuggle. I love a family room. I also do love a primary bedroom because I feel like it's often neglected because it's like no one sees that. Company doesn't see the primary bedroom, but you see it every day. You wake up to it every morning. You go to bed every night. You should invest in your primary. And I think it's a mistake a lot of people make. They put themselves last and they're like, oh, we'll save that. Let's do the family room first. Let's do the kids' playroom. Let's do, everything but. I mean, people design their garages with racks and organization before they design their primary. So move yourself up on the list and create a haven. Your primary bedroom should be a haven where you end your day and start it. What is your dream dinner guest? Oh, that's a good one. Dream dinner guest. That's a really good question. Who would I love? I mean, we all know this is probably quite obvious. Justin Bieber. I would just be very curious about him and just his faith journey and if he's okay. But okay, who else? Who would I love to interview? Who would I love to have dinner with? Just have over. That's such a good question. I'm really being thoughtful about this. I mean, like him or not, I would love to meet with the president because, he's the president. I have some questions. I think that would be fascinating and telling. And so I think that would be good. That'd be great dinner conversation. I would also just like to have Lou Giglio over for dinner. He's like a local pastor of Passion. And I'm just so amazed at what God has done through this man's life. And I would love to just sit and have dinner with him and talk to him about it and just hear what he thinks about this culture right now and faith in our culture and Christianity in a deeper level. So those are the few. I went from Justin Bieber to my pastor at Passion. So there you have it. What's a quote that's always stuck in your head? One of the quotes that sticks in my head, gosh, I'm really not good off the top of my head, but one of the things that I often say is, I don't trust people. It's hard for me to trust people. So it takes me time. But instead of me thinking that's like bad, I think it's being patient to see what is, even whether it's, a friend, an employee, like I just over time watch and observe quietly. But there's a quote that always is in my head, and it's patience is a weapon that forces deception to reveal itself. So if you are patient in I'm not sure, there's a question mark, even like in a decision that you're making in life or what have you, patience, because patience is something I do struggle with. Patience is a weapon that forces deception to reveal itself. That's always stuck with me. I don't know why. I heard it when I was 20 years old, a pastor, actually Stefan Tavigian, his father, he's the grandchild of, why can't I think of anything? Billy Graham. And he was a pastor at my church and we became friends and he shared that and it stuck. And I always thought that's a good tool to have in my toolbox of trying to see, if as I trust people. What's been your favorite memory with your kids? I mean, really, I think why I said I'd like to have Justin Bieber over for a dinner guest is because we went to a concert. This is like a two-part. Singing in the car, music on full blast, my kids in the car, absolutely love those moments. Just in general, that's just something we did together. We sang, we danced, we listened. We're like, this song's for you, this one's for you. And we love Justin Bieber. It brought us together. And I think that's why I'm so fond of him. But also, we all went to this Justin Bieber concert together. It was right when I was going through the divorce. The kids were struggling, and I got great tickets to the Bieber concert. And it was just a night where we didn't have to think about anything. And it was like the music was loud. We were on the floor. We had good seats, and we just danced and we sang. And it was one of the best nights. And that really stands out in my mind with me and the kids. So that was just a great core memory. Have you found it hard to eat clean? I have. It is not easy. There's bad things in everything. And what I've learned is that things that I thought were healthy were not. So I've had to change my basics. And some of my basics were, I get caught up in a routine, and I can generally eat the same 10 things all the time. But then I had to make some changes to my coffee, just changes. Oh, wait, we have a call coming in, not just a text. Fun. Hello, this is Chaz. You're chatting with Chaz. Hi.
It's Jacqueline.
Oh, it does not even sound like you. Hey, Jack. I was just talking about you.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Well, we had to call in. I'm sitting here with my roommates, and we had a question for you.
Oh, I love it. What is your question? I love this.
Our question is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to a young adult in their 20s who's about to enter the real world?
That's a great question, Jacqueline. The one piece of advice I would say is be authentic, be who you are, and trust in God for your journey. And just keep knocking on doors and just trust the process and trust God. Lean into your faith with all things, and He will make your path straight. He really will. And I just think that's the advice I would give is, also just, we're going to go deeper. Just follow what you love. And if you love people, do something with people. If you love data, be an accountant, do data. If you love, creating, be a content creator or build a brand. I mean, just follow what you love, and that will lead you the right way. And then, trusting God on the journey, because even when you follow what you love, it can be hard. But follow what you love, not necessarily what you thought you went to school for.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people go to school for one thing, but then they get out in the real world and they're like, gosh, this is not what I thought it was at all. I don't even want to do this. But you feel like, oh, this is what I went to school for. I have to. I don't think that that's true.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes. So what are you thinking about your journey as you leave college? Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Slightly terrified?
Yeah, a little bit scared. Excited.
Yes. But you've got this, and your roommates have got this. You girls are smart, and you're going to be just fine.
Yes, we will.
You've done the hardest part. You went to school, and you went to a big school, and you did big things, and you made great grades, and you're going to be getting your degree. I mean, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Got her done.
What's that?
Got her done.
Yes. And then, one day you could just take this over and handle it. What do you think?
Yeah, our goal.
Would you want to be a podcaster? Would you ever do a podcast?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, if you ever did a podcast, what would your podcast be about? I'm asking you a question now.
My podcast is about everyday life, maybe health and wellness.
Ooh, I like that. What were the little changes you made at home to live cleaner? Good question. Okay, so back to clean living. So I have found that it's hard switching to clean, just to kind of go back to that. But also, once you kind of change little things, it becomes easier. Once you know the basics about ingredients, it's not hard because you just look at a package, and if there's like a bunch of ingredients, it's a hard no. If there's like 5 to 10, it's like, that's great. So it kind of gets easier, and then we just kind of rotate our favorites. And I feel like I eat a pretty basic diet of things that I know are really good for me. So that's how I simplify it, and now I don't feel like it's hard. What was the other question about the house? There was one about the house. It disappeared. Keeping the house clean, was there one?
What were the clean changes you made in your home?
And clean changes in the home. I think it's our cleaning products. So we've changed that. Our laundry detergent, that's a big one. I learned that from Kyle. It literally touches every part of your body. It's on you all day. You're sleeping in your sheets. So laundry detergent was like the first thing we changed. And then, our cleaning supplies, our dishwashing detergent, kind of everyday products we're changing to clean. So our pots and pans, no more nonstick. Even our spatulas, just keeping it to stainless steel and nothing that's plastics. We don't do bottled water anymore. We have a filtering system in our home that filters our shower, that filters our drinking water, even the coffee. So the coffee water. So we're trying to make those changes. We're going to probably incorporate a sauna. We have a home gym. We're all about creating kind of a healthy space, and we're loving it. And it's been really, really good. But plastics, you got to stay away from. And my son is like, you do not ever cook on a pan that is Teflon. It's a no-no. Okay, next, Chaz. Oh, this is a long one. First time caller, long time listener. Oh, Erica. I have talked to Erica for years in the DMs. I would love to call and chat with you, but my grandson is staying overnight and has other plans for me. I'm reaching out about how you process grief. And I know you have processed grief. I remember this. We have another call. I'm going to come back to this question. Let me take this call. Hello, you're chatting with Chaz.
Hey, I cannot believe you are actually doing this live.
Yes, I am, girl. I'm like, I want to talk to my friends. Let's go.
This is amazing. First off, prayers and kudos to you for embracing the surgery.
Thank you.
And I am struggling with weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you at some time to just kind of list out like really what you ate in a day. I know you give us photos and you show us what you do, but could you just like give us a sample of like what you did in a day for eating?
Yes, I think that I will do that. It's hard for me. Tell me your first name again. I don't know if you told me.
My name
You
is
don't have to,
Margaret.
actually. I'm sorry. I said you didn't have to. And there I go. It's like, I just want to know you. But okay, you don't
It's
have to
okay.
tell me.
My name's Mary Margaret.
Mary Margaret. So, I'm going to share some with you right now just because that I think that's what the point of this is. But I think that's a good idea. The problem is when I started this, I didn't even realize I was starting it. I think I've shared that before. And I was making little changes here and there. It mostly started with walking, of course, like I told you, just moving my body. And I was walking to just kind of like get healthy. Like I was walking around my kid's track where he was practicing football because we were kind of going through our family issues and I wanted to be near him. Or it was like I had to go take calls at the park because I was talking to my divorce attorney. So I was like walking and then I was like, oh, I am feeling so much better. And then with feeling better, I started making, and the walking wasn't 5 miles at the time. It was a mile here. It was 4 laps around a track there. It was a couple rounds around my neighborhood. And then I just was feeling so good that I just wanted to walk more. And that's when I started doing 5,000 steps a day. And then I went to 10,000. So most of it was movement. I will say, like, you can't outwork out a bad diet. So then that's when I was like, okay, I can walk all the time, but I'm still drinking like large Cokes, and I'm still, running through fast food with my kids at Zaxby's. So I started not eating like a teenager. I was like, I have to eat like a 50-year-old woman. So
I've
I
been
just
following you forever, so I remember the pizza and all that.
Oh, the pizza. It was like my daily staple.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times did I make pasta with you with the sticks of butter? And I mean, every night there was a dessert treat. And I mean, I was just all about.
Even when you were vegetarian,
Yes.
I remember back then.
Oh, wow. So you've been with us for a while.
Forever.
Forever. Well, I just love
And
that.
I love seeing you so happy, and I have been in your shoes and probably worse than you, to be honest.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I love seeing you come full circle into where you are, but maybe when you're recovering, you can just do some little screenshots. I know you share it often, but maybe so we can just kind of screen capture it and keep it for like, oh, let's look for these foods or try this.
Oh, well, I definitely will do that. Absolutely. I've got you. I will do that when I'm having some downtime. And I think it's a great question. And I think it'll cause me to, do we have another call? I'm so sorry. No, we're good. It'll cause me to kind of remember, because I think I just didn't remember what I did. It was like no more salad dressing, and it was a lot more salads and no salad dressing, or no more Coke and drinking more water. It was like little things, but I'm telling you, it seems like it's a big mountain when you feel like you have to lose weight. And all I can say,
I know.
it's baby steps. This has been a 3-year plus journey. I'm still on my journey. I'm still figuring things out with my body. I'm trying to still embrace my age and body. And, it takes time. And so if you just change a few little habits, maybe it's a little walk every day or after dinner or in the morning, it also helps you mentally. And then it might just be no salad dressing, or, I'm not going to have the pizza. I haven't had pizza in like 3 years. Lie. I ate it in Positano because I had to, because I was in Italy. And I'm like, I'm having the damn pizza. But I just don't eat it because I know once I go there, it's hard to shut that off. So it's like boundaries more than anything. And I feel like it was effortless once I just created some like boundaries for myself. And I was like, that doesn't work for me. And it really hasn't been hard. And it sounds crazy, but it wasn't hard. I think it's because I didn't go into a diet mentality. I went into a wellness mentality. And I really believe that that's my success. It wasn't about losing weight or getting into jeans. It was like, I want to go to the doctor and get good blood work. And that happened. So I will put together some of my favorite things that I eat on the daily, and I will post that. And I hope you'll see it. Keep watching.
Thank you. And thanks for keeping us updated on keeping our faith, and prayers to your surgery.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. I really appreciate it. It was so nice talking to you.
You're very welcome. You as well. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, so back to Erica. So she's reaching out about the grief process, specifically watching your dad go through the emotions of losing my mom. What helps you get through? As you know, I've experienced so much loss in the past few years between my mom and the loss of my daughter. I remember talking to you, Erica, years ago about the loss of your daughter, and I could never fathom that. And so I can't really sit here and say what I think is the best way for you to go about that, because I can't imagine the grief you feel when you lose a child. It's the worst. I know personally when I lost my mom, there were layers of grief. It was kind of like I couldn't believe it was happening. And I still think sometimes like that it didn't happen, that I just haven't seen her in a while. So I don't know the best way. I just know that for me personally, whether it's grieving a loss of a loved one or something significant in your life, it's my faith. It's leaning in to the word of God. That is life. The Bible says that his words are life and life-giving, and he breathes life into you. And I think when you lose a child, I could only imagine. I walked actually one of my dearest friends through the loss of her daughter, and it was sudden and it was devastating, and she was 12 years old. And the grief I saw her and her husband and family experience, I do not wish on anyone, but what is felt to me is that she needed life breathed into her. And it's through faith that that happens. It has to be supernatural. There's no cure to a broken heart. The only thing is scripture and the word of God and him, because he says he draws near the brokenhearted and he heals the brokenhearted. So that's always where I've gone to in times of despair and pain and grief. So just continue to lean into Jesus, and he is the author and perfecter of your faith. You know, sometimes when things like this happen, the loss of a child, you're probably thinking, why would God do that to me? There's probably a lot of questions. And I think sometimes when you lose a child or your parents or something tragic, the tendency is to go away from God, because it's like, well, why would he do that to me? My tendency is to go to him to say, well, what is he showing me here? He's drawing me near to him because my heart is broken. He has something, to show me in this. And it's just, unfortunately, it's part of life is losing, and it's loss, and it's pain and suffering. And he says you will suffer. And something that brings me comfort is that he suffered. He suffered to bring us to salvation. So to know that he also suffered and he understands our suffering, it does bring me comfort. So I hope that that will bring you comfort. I can't imagine, Erica, and you've always been on my heart. I think about you often. That's why I always DM you back, because I'm like, I can't imagine. So we love you, and I'm sorry for your loss with your mom and your daughter. Patty from Nashville, thanks for doing this podcast so much. What is your favorite podcast of doing this? What is your favorite part of doing this podcast? Like this particular one, or just in general, the podcast? I'm thinking it's the whole thing, right? Okay, you know what my favorite part is? I have the gift of gab. It is no surprise. I love to talk and I love people. I always tell Douglas, and I tell when my team says, if there's one thing you can do, what is the one thing you want to do? And they're always thinking it's like design, apparel, home, the buying piece, working with the clients, the leadership of the team. Like, what is it? And I'm always like, it's really none of that. The thing I love the most is to pour into people, and I like to inspire people. I want to inspire people to live their best life, to get through hard things, to inspire them towards a deep, rich faith, to inspire them to be a great parent, to inspire them to get through loss and grief. I want to be someone that inspires a woman to start a business. I want to be someone that inspires a mom to be a great mom, like I said, to be a great wife. I just want to be that person. Now, I think I can be that person because I have so many failures, and I've learned so much in my failures and in my difficulties and in my trials, but also my triumphs. So I love that this is a platform and a vehicle for me to get out what's been in my heart, the things I want to say, not in a fragmented, story on Instagram or quick scroll on the feed. I don't want to be a scroll. I want to make an impact. And I know that I was created to touch people. And I know I was created to minister, and it sounds silly, but I am using this podcast as a way to reach people and to hopefully encourage people in their family and in their faith, and to find freedom and get away from fear and live their most authentic, amazing, badass life. That's what I want. So can I say badass when I'm talking about faith? But that's what I want for the people. So that's why this is such a joy for me. What is a funny memory you can share about starting LNF? One memory that stands out to me is that was a great question. So when we opened the first store on Canton Street, it was 900 square feet. I found it in November, and we opened it December 4th. It'll be 10 years this year. We're celebrating big. I don't know how and what, but we are. We're actually doing a giveaway each month. So that's one way we're doing it, but we're going to have a big bash. But when we were opening, I had never opened a store. and I didn't know how to open a store. And so we had 3 weeks to do it, and I had to fill it, which wasn't hard because it was small, but it was hard because I didn't even know where to go to find all the merchandise, but I figured it out. And I hired like one of my girlfriends, a neighbor next door. One lady showed up to work. I didn't even know who she was, but my neighbor next door hired her, said, we need your help. So like, it was like 3 or 4 of us. And as pallets were coming in, it was like it was opening day, and there were still boxes that were in the backyard of this little store. We had like this really pretty backyard. The mayor was on the front porch. The ribbon was out there, the big bow. And do we have a call or no? And then, and there was a big bow out front, and the mayor's like there with scissors, and we're in the backyard still opening boxes. And I'm like, I'm going to go cut the bow, but keep putting the things in the store. And I mean, that was just wild because none of us, I mean, I had a neighbor, a girlfriend, none of us knew what we were doing. We had just gotten like the POS to work the day before. I think we were there like all night trying to figure it out. And we were women trying to build a brand, having no idea what to do. And they were looking to me as their leader. And I'm like, listen, I don't know. So, but we did it. And I cut that ribbon on the front porch. I opened the doors and we sold out of like everything. It was unbelievable. But that's a great memory and a very funny memory for me. We've come a long way. Chaz, love your energy. I'm a mom of 2, 8 and 10 years old. What advice can you give me to juggle life and kids? That's a good one. So listen, being a mom, you're wearing all the hats. And whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, they're both hard. And so it's a juggle. It's a juggle with sports. It's a juggle with school. It's a juggle with marriage. You're juggling all the things. You're a nurse, you're a teacher, you're a counselor, you're your mom. And I would say, in hindsight, raising my kids, I tried to do everything really, really well. And I wanted the house to be always clean. I wanted the dinners to always be made. I wanted their bedrooms to be perfect when they climbed into bed. I wanted the story time to be sweet. I wanted to create moments constantly. But now looking back, just be present. It doesn't matter if all the laundry is done. It doesn't matter if there's dishes in the sink. Sit down with your kid and color with them, instead of fluffing the pillows or making the dinner or, I know all those things have to get done, but sometimes they just don't have to get done right then, and make that time. I would say also, I didn't have the challenge of having a cell phone in my hand all the time. And I think if you can give your kids anything, the greatest gift, it would be to be present. So I would say, for a mom juggling it all, when you're home, let's say you're working outside the home, when you get home, be present, put the phone down. The emails can wait, the Zooms can hold off during business hours. Your time at home, be completely present. If you're a stay-at-home mom, I would also say when you're juggling everything, make time for yourself and don't put yourself off, because you will only be your best version of yourself if you take time to be the best version of yourself. Get that workout in. Go to that yoga class. We got another call coming in. Let's take that call. Hello, this is Chaz, and you're chatting with Chaz.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Chaz. It's Emily. And
Who's this?
it's Emily.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
at
good.
the gym. I'm getting my walk in.
Oh, I'm so jealous, actually, of you. I mean, I love that I'm talking to you right now, but how great that you're out for a walk.
Yeah. No, I'm at the gym. I'm doing my 3:30:30.
Oh,
and I
you're
was
doing
watching
the
30:30.
stories. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm at the, I was watching my stories and you said to call. So I was like, yes, ma'am. I'm calling.
I'm calling right now. I love it. On the treadmill, doing your jam. Now, I do love that walk. I mean, that's a good one. It's also really good for your butt, just saying. That
good
incline.
to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, do you have any questions?
How did the house process go? Looking for a house as a newly married couple and planning that, during your wedding week. How was all that?
That's a great question. I mean, the great thing is Douglas and I think the same. And so we're very much on the same page. So that's super helpful. Like he didn't want one type of house. I didn't want another. I think once we established the location, we both knew we wanted to change. And, I have my businesses in Roswell and I thought, I don't know if I want to live in Roswell. I'm there for business all the time. Let's just change it up. We don't have to be there for our kids' schools anymore, that's why we lived in Roswell and Alpharetta area. So we both kind of decided to kind of step outside of our box and change the location. And once we decided that, then it was just a matter of, there was a wish list that we kind of wanted. We wanted enough bedrooms so that if all of our kids came back, even though they're adult children, they had a place to stay. And we wanted to feel like their home, not just our home. So that was a big box. And then we wanted a gym. So we had same preferences. And we were thinking it'd be nice to have a pool. Didn't have to, but that was like really me. Like, oh, I love a pool. That would be really fun. So then it was literally, Douglas coordinating with a realtor and giving our wish list. And then he found like 9 homes on one day. I think it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Holy moly.
And he's like, I'm going to line them up for you. And I'm like, let's go. So we did. And it was the first house we walked into. It had the criteria that we wanted, which is kind of hard to find, that many bedrooms. And then we wanted a flex space in the basement. We wanted the gym. We wanted a great kitchen. We wanted all these things. And it was just in this house. And even though I was like, this is the house, I don't need to see anything else. Douglas felt the same, but the realtor was like, I just want to do my homework and make sure you see everything that's on your list. So we did. We spent the whole day. And then Douglas at the end of the day was like, let's just go back to that house one more time. And we went back and we just knew it was our house. So it was pretty seamless, which is amazing. But I think it's because we both were on the same page of our preferences. And I think that made it easier.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember Luke and I from 30A. We were the ones that helped you guys move into your Rosemary Beach house.
No way. Okay, no, I didn't. Your voice sounds totally different. Oh my gosh. I love you.
It's been a couple years now. Yes. Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Hi. So we still have our house in Florida, but being military, we move around all the time. So we've lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then now we're in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, you're in Ohio now.
Be going. Yeah. We're like 6.5 hours from you guys in Atlanta. So.
Oh my goodness. And you're a mom now.
Yes, I am. Lauren unfortunately passed away a few days after she was born of respiratory failure. Yeah. So, yes, I am a mom. But the good Lord is just watching my daughter for me at the moment.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I do remember you were going through a lot I remember seeing glimpses of you on social media. And I was like, what is going on there? What's happening? And I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was the day after your wedding. So her birthday and your wedding day are one and the same. And that's just like a great reminder for me. So every year when y'all celebrate, it's also my daughter's birthday. So that's a fun little moment too.
Well, I'm so sorry. You have, of course, the best attitude you and Luke always have, always will.
Thank you. I had one more question about like the house stuff. Like with us being military, we move so much. And so we buy and sell homes. That's how we're trying to grow, our personal equity and like investments and stuff.
Yes.
And I didn't know if y'all had any advice about like selling a home in Florida and then buying a home in another state, or like selling, Douglas's home that he owned and then buying a home together. Like how to make those processes more like seamless.
Well, again, we just kind of got, I don't want to say lucky. I feel like we were blessed because Douglas he had a place in Destin and he didn't have to put his place on the market. Someone just said, hey, we'd like to buy it. And he was like, okay.
Douglas sold his place too.
Yes. So he sold his place.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And then I was like, well, my place in Rosemary would be too small for our entire family, even to vacation. So I was like, well.
To be like a holiday house type thing.
It wouldn't even work for a holiday house and we can never get us all there. So we were like, well, it's time to let that go. And we really just felt like it was time to just build something together. I got great advice from my divorce attorney, actually. And she said, when you marry, move into a neutral home. Don't have him move into your home and don't move into his, but create a home together for your families. And that'll be really significant for the kids involved, even though they're adult kids. It's just like everybody comes into it together. So that was great advice. I highly recommend that. Just building your home together. But as far as the real estate piece, we just happened to get offers the same day, at the same time, which is super crazy because he had his place in Alpharetta. He needed to sell, and then I was selling Rosemary. And then we were not looking for a house because we're like, well, we'll probably be here for a little while. We were in no rush. And then literally we both got offers on our homes the same day. So we're like, okay, panic mode, let's go. So that's really how it happened.
That probably helped with finances too, like merging into a new marriage, like not having pieces that weren't each other's in your new marriage.
Yes, it did. It was super helpful. So we've been able to contribute together. It's been a really good thing. So
that's awesome.
All is good. Yes. It's so good to hear your voice.
Thanks. It's good to talk to you too. I shot Christian a message earlier this week. I heard a worship song that just came out, and I sent it to him and told him that, y'all's car rides and stuff and love for music, and this song just really stuck out to me. So I shot him a message and shared that with him. So yeah.
You are so sweet. Well,
we love you guys.
Riley and I talk about you all the time, you and Luke. Aww. And so we'll have to get together on the side, not just on a call on the podcast. We'll have to reach out to me, and you probably still have my number, right?
Yeah. I still have your cell phone number.
Yeah, we need to connect.
I would love that. That would be so sweet.
Tell Luke I said hello.
I will. He's running on the treadmill next to me.
Right next to you. I love it. Always. Never separate.
Well, y'all have a wonderful night. I just wanted to follow directions and give you a call.
I'm so glad you did. It was so nice hearing your voice. I'll tell the kids you said hi.
That sounds great. Have a great night, Chad.
Bye, Emily. Take care. Okay. A random question. What color is your lipstick? I thought I brought it down here. I didn't. I left it upstairs. So, I'm a mixer of lipstick. So I can start in the morning with a really pretty lip liner and a gloss. And then by 2:00, I've put 5 different shades on. And you're like, what is that color? And I'm like, I have no idea, because I just grab what's at the top of my bag and in my makeup case and what's in my little cup holder in my car. But I do love the Chanel lip glosses and Dior lip glosses. And I think they're great. I like a gloss. I don't like a matte finish. Chanel has a lip liner. And if you follow me on LTK, I have a makeup haul, and all of my lip glosses, liners, everything's in there. So check that out. It's another avenue to shop, linen and flax, but also anything that's not linen and flax, I put in LTK. So if you see something like, a sneaker that I'm wearing, if you can't find it on our website at linenandflax.com, go to LTK and you can follow along there. And I list all my makeup, skincare, shoes, like anything that is not linen and flax, workout clothes, you name it. I have a girl that's a senior in high school. What advice would you give me to help launch her into college? I think putting her in an uncomfortable situation like college is a good thing. I remember when Jacqueline chose Ole Miss, nobody went there that she knew, and she was kind of nervous about that. All of her friends were going to a college in Milledgeville or UGA, but she was the only one that really branched out. Now Ole Miss, it's like that's not the case anymore, but she was the only one. And I think putting her in a place where she was uncomfortable really helped her thrive. She also had to meet new people, new friends, build new friendships. So I think encouraging them to kind of get uncomfortable, meet the new friends. Don't just continue talking to your friends back home. Although my daughter and Christian, they all still do that. They have met new friends, formed new friend groups. And I think that is huge. And I think as a senior, it's scary. Like, who am I going to talk to? What's my roommate going to be like? What do I do when I walk to class? I remember Jacqueline used to always call me when she walked to class because she just wanted to be on her phone because she felt awkward. Like that will all pass. She will meet the people. I have someone in my ear, something in my ear. Is that a call? Get uncomfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable. You will thrive. And now I look at Jacqueline, a senior now in college, and she thrived and she met amazing young women that are like-minded. Also, I would say, if your daughter goes to church at home, encourage her to find a home church in school, because she will find like-minded people in her church. And a lot of Jacqueline's friends, they all go to church on Sunday. A lot of Christian's friends, he's a freshman at Ole Miss. They go to church on Sunday, Wednesday night Bible study. My son Riley, I mean, he's involved in a Bible study. He's here at home. So their faith is important to them. And the friends that they have are also in that same mindset. So I would say find a home church at school and branch out and meet new people. And you might meet your best friend. You never know. Last, Lynn from Dallas here. Thanks for sharing and doing the podcast. Question: what is your next step with linen and flax? That's a great question. I have so many dreams for linen and flax. And I see linen and flax as this lifestyle brand that's going to be a part of everyone's home nationwide. I see the future being something like a big box store. Now, I dream big. I think it's possible. I think we have cultivated and curated a beautiful line of home goods, apparel, just kind of design. And I think having all those pieces, there's a lot of brands that have that piece or this piece, but there's not a ton of brands that have the interior design with the apparel, like a fashion piece, and also home goods and a podcast. Like, I feel like there's so much that we can do. Sky's the limit. The question is, what does it look like, and how do we reach? And so that's what I'm working with right now. I've made some new hires that I think are going to be super helpful to the piece of the puzzle of figuring out how to continue to grow and meet and show up in your homes more and in your cities more and connect with you more. So I'm thinking big, but right now I just want to really get my hands around how can I connect more through our website, getting that even better and easy to operate and navigate. And then, a dream for me, this isn't even huge. It's totally possible. I just have to find it, is just one big store with everything in it: apparel, home goods, a design bar, instead of two separate brick and mortars, a design headquarters 3 miles down the road, and we're very disjointed. So I would love to see us under one umbrella as a business and as a company. And I think that, to me, would be a really great start to the next thing. I love the early days of praying together. Will you do a podcast about your faith journey? Yes. I love talking about faith. It's my favorite thing. And I think I've shared a lot of my faith journey through my stories here on the podcast, through season 1 and kind of my beginnings, and then my development as a person, and then my connection with Jesus and how that happened, my testimony and conversion. But I would love to go more in depth for sure. And there's a scripture that says iron sharpens iron. I hope I can sharpen your faith. I hope I can be a person that ignites your faith, that maybe makes you think about your faith, or maybe solidifies your faith. To me, I know it's beautiful to create, beautiful, warm, inviting spaces. It's amazing when you walk into our stores and you feel refreshed by a beautiful scent, or a cozy pillow situation, or a great kitchen scene, or a bed that's layered perfectly. I love that you love that. But at the end of the day, and at the end of my day, I want God to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I want him to be proud of my legacy, of my using my life for his purpose and glory. That's what I want at the end of the day. And I hope that I can help you achieve that at the end of your day. So that's why we talk about it all: faith, family, all of it. Okay, so let's do that. We'll have another podcast about faith, and the next podcast will be in a few weeks. Because I'm about to have the surgery. And just to kind of sign off, I'm going to talk about that for a minute. So as a business owner, this is a big deal for me. It's kind of like handing over the reins. Now, I will be in the bed and I will be watching all the things. I don't have to, because I have an amazing team, but does it bring me a little concern that I'm going to be, out of office for maybe upwards of a month? a little as a business owner. I do know that I have very capable hands and minds and talented people alongside of me, in front of you, on whether it's for an order online or at a storefront when you walk into our doors. So I don't worry about that. It's just feeling disconnected for this amount of time, not being on social media as much. I'm literally just not. I mean, I might show up in my pajamas and like say, hey, I'm alive, but I will not be doing try-on sessions. I will not be decorating. I am going to rest. And it is doctor's orders to rest. And I have to tell you, I'm kind of excited about it. Even when we go on vacation, we don't rest. We explore. I mean, we did in Bora Bora. I take that back. But generally, we're on the go. We're on the move. When we're at home on the weekends, we're doing something. We're up to something. We're moving something. We're building. We're creating. We don't stop. Myself, Douglas, my kids. I mean, we're on the go, go, go. I have been on the go for like 20 years. So I am ready for someone to force me to be in bed for like a month. I'm down with that. Now, I hope that everything goes safe and smooth. I believe it will. I have a fantastic surgeon and team. And I look forward to coming back here and sitting with Dr. Tubielli to talk to you about the follow-up, to talk to you about the recovery, to talk to you about hormones and all the questions you've had. I'm excited for that, but I am excited to kind of wind down. I've worked really hard and it's just time to rest, and I'm going to rest during this recovery. I've bought a few books that I'm really excited to read. I know you're going to ask, so I'm going to tell you. Good Energy, I've heard it's fantastic, and Mel Robbins, Let Them. I'm interested in listening to a few podcasts. I might look at some recipes, and me and Douglas might throw together some recipes. So we're going to kind of be locked up here, and I'm pretty excited about it. I will check in occasionally, but the podcast is going to take a beat. And again, we'll be back for the next podcast in a couple weeks. Make sure to follow at Chatting with Chaz. That's where I'll jump on. I'm not going to jump on to Linen and Flax Co. during this time because I'm literally going to be in PJs. And maybe a robe, maybe. So, sign on to Chatting with Chaz to keep up with the recovery. I think it'll be interesting. I will be super transparent. I even thought today I might give Jacqueline like the keys to Chatting with Chaz Instagram, and maybe she could check in with you and be like, hey guys, this is the update. Who knows? We'll see, but we'll keep it real, and I'll keep you posted on recovery because I know you're very interested. I appreciate your prayers. Let me end with that. You all have just shared in the DMs constantly. I mean, they are constantly coming in that you're praying for me. And honestly, that brings me such peace. You have always, this community brought me through hard times. I don't look at this as a hard time. I look at it as a time like, let's go and let's get this done and handled. But yes, am I a little nervous? Am I a little scared? Was I talking to Douglas this morning? Like, am I going to be okay? He's like, yes, absolutely. I appreciate your prayers from the bottom of my heart, and, continue to pray for the recovery. I'll take them. And it does just bring me great comfort. We're a community, and this podcast is to serve our community. And I just want to thank over here, you don't even see, but Douglas and Lauren and Ravi. I mean, literally there's cameras hanging on the walls. This is so legit. This studio is like next level. I feel honored that I get to just do the easy part, which is show up here and talk to my friends. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for making this happen. Ravi, thank you. He gets the coloring just right. And all the other things, and Lauren getting our, keeping everything going on social media. Lauren's going to have a whole big job. I mean, she has a whole big job, but she's going to keep all things on socials going. And we'll continue to chat through the DMs. So I love you all. We got this. And thanks for chatting with Chaz tonight. That was super fun. We might do it again. We'll see. But we had a really great time. So thanks for calling in and all the text messages. You all were being shy today. Okay, we'll talk soon in a few weeks with Chatting with Chaz.